What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to the Mars Volta. Yes, indeed, the Mars Volta fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Rio, and Rio wanted to see me react to this song by the Mars Volta called Viscera Eyes. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hold on a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by the Mars Volta, okay? And the video has 696,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. The Mars Volta, Viscera Eyes, Yahoo Live Sets. Yeah, we had the whole logo thing at the beginning. I skipped that simply because sometimes those logos, that's how the algorithm catches on and can lead to blocking, especially with Yahoo. Good Lord, they probably are pretty bad. I've never had to deal with them before, and to be honest with you folks, I really don't want to. So I skipped all the logo stuff. You didn't miss anything, I promise. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
There are things I'm liking. There are things I'm really liking. And then there are some things I'm just not a fan of at all. And not even close to being a fan of. This is going all over the place for me. If I were to base my score completely on just this first minute and like 40 seconds, I honestly don't know where it would go. I have no clue. We could be up in the 8s, we could be down in the 5s, we could be down in the 2s. I don't know. I think the best thing I could do, honestly, is just keep going and see where this takes me. I'm still in the same spot. There are things I'm liking. There are some things I'm really liking. And then there are some things that I just don't like at all. I don't love anything, and I don't hate anything. But all points in between those 2 points, yes, it's all there. Like, really like, dislike, don't like, really dislike. But nothing that I hate, nothing that I love. Just lots of likes all the way through the song so far. Still not sure how this is going to go. This is odd. I will say, out of all the songs I've done for the Mars Volta, I will say that this one makes the most sense. This one definitely makes the most sense. It's the easiest one to follow. And I personally, I think it's got the best groove out of all four. This is my 5th reaction now to the Mars Volta. I think this is reaction number 5. And I think this has got the best groove out of all 5 of them. So that's just me. That's just my own personal opinion. Let's just let it finish out. I know it's almost 3 minutes, but I already went for over 3. So if we're gonna get blocked, we're gonna get blocked. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Riding on that snare a lot. I like it.
But the prayer that you weave of itself, gonna read out loud. Yes, it will. She's falling, she's still falling, no one wants to know. She's falling, she's still falling on your merry-go-round. She's falling, she's still falling, no one wants to know. Falling, she's still falling on your merry-go-round.
Eesh. Oh, good old Yahoo. Anyway, 8:18, huh? 8 minutes and 18 seconds. We'll take out 8 because that was opening logo. So 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Interesting. Okay, let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was the Mars Volta with Viscera Eyes. This was a request from Rio. Okay, before we get to the score, we just have a couple of announcements we gotta go over. I'm doing the announcements for every single video for the entire month of March. So if you've already watched one of the videos that pop up in the month of March, feel free to skip forward about 5 minutes and you'll be able to skip the announcements because you've already heard them. Announcement number 1, we are going back to the old scoring system. I've already implemented that beginning on March 1st. So we are back on the old scoring system. You guys let me know that's what you wanted. We had the poll, you all voted, and about 2/3 of the votes said, yes, go back. So we're going back, and believe me when I say this, folks, I have absolutely no problem doing that. That is totally fine with me. One of the reasons that we are going back to the old scoring system was that a lot of people with the new scoring system of the 5 stars were concerned that we would have an oversaturation of 4-star ratings. There'd be too many bands, too many songs getting the rating of 4 stars. And guys, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I saw that problem myself, and I'm not disagreeing with you guys at all. Here's the thing though, the old scoring system had the exact same problem. If you go back and look at all of the scores I've given throughout the history of the entire channel, I would say roughly 2/3 of the scores that I've given have been between the range of 7.4 to 8.6. Now, I know a lot of people right now are doing the math in their heads and they're going, well, wait a minute, that's 13 different scores. That's a lot bigger than just one. You're absolutely right. It is a lot bigger than just one score. It's 13 different scores out of 100. That only gives you a 13% margin, which is a little bit smaller than the 20% margin you would have had with a 4-star rating out of 5. So it's a 13% margin, guys. It's a small margin. Now, I did say during the course of the live stream that we did to discuss the scoring system, I did say during that if we do go back to the old scoring system, I got no problem with it, but there's going to have to be some changes made to avoid the same problem. So here we are with the old scoring system, and I have already started making the changes. The changes are very simply this. I gotta get tougher, I gotta get harder, and I gotta make it more difficult to get those higher scores of 7s, 8s, and 9s. And we gotta refocus on making 5 the middle ground. 5 is the average. 5 is the middle ground for everybody to start at. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Nightwish. I don't care if you're Love Bites. I don't care if you're Pearl Jam. I don't care if you're Nirvana. I don't care if you're Bandmate. I don't care if you're BTS. Everybody starts at 5. Everybody does. And you can move your score up or you can move your score down. But from now on, everybody starts at 5. Getting a 7, it's going to be a lot tougher now. Getting an 8 is going to be even harder. And I'm going to be honest with you, folks, getting a 9 now, it's going to be pretty much impossible. If you get a 9 now, boy, did you ever earn it. So just please keep that in mind, guys, that when you hear me give your favorite band a 5, it's not a bad score. That means it's average, okay? That's number 1. Announcement number 2. The whole reason that I went to a 5-star scoring system was to make things a little bit easier and a little bit simpler to comprehend and internalize and interpret for people coming into the channel for the first time. And during the course of the live stream, people were saying and giving the suggestion of, well, why don't you give the numeric score and then why don't you give another score, give the star rating or whatever to reflect that score? I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Seriously, I have no idea. You know, I'm not omnipotent. I'm not all-seeing and all-knowing, despite the fact that I sometimes try to act like I am. But guys, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. And sometimes I need a little help seeing the bigger picture. So to all of you that did attend the live stream and made that suggestion, thank you very much, because you really kind of opened my eyes and went, oh, there's more than one way to do this. So I am going to be giving my numeric score just like always, but I'm also going to be giving 3 other scores for a grand total of 4 different ways to give the exact same score. So we're going to have the old school numeric score. We're going to have a scale score where you'll have your great, really good, pretty good, okay, so forth and so on. We're also going to give a star rating. I'm going to keep the star system. And we're going to have 5 out of a possible 5 stars. And that will correlate with the numeric score that I'm going to give. And then I'm also going to give a letter grade for those people who just cannot seem to get their mindset out of elementary school. So, numeric score, scale grade, star rating, and a letter grade. Now, if you cannot internalize and interpret and be able to understand at least one of those 4 ways, then folks, I can't help you. I'm sorry. You might want to think about possibly going and checking out another channel, because I have a feeling this is not going to be the channel for you. So that's the announcements, guys. Let's move along to the score now. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 6.3. Yep, 6.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, 6.3. What does that mean? Well, it's a pretty good song. It gets a pretty good scale rating. It would get 3 out of 5 stars, and it would get a B- letter grade. Yeah, right about strong, right in the middle of the B minuses. So 6.3, pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, B- letter grade. There you go. Now, how did I get to this score? Well, so glad you asked. There's a number of factors that went into this. For the record, I didn't hate anything about this. There was nothing that I hated. Then again, there was also nothing that I loved. Everything was in very close quarters. I either liked it or I disliked it. Or I really liked it or I really disliked it. But I never felt like I loved or hated anything. Everything was in the likes and the dislikes. So there's that. Let's just go down the list. The things I really liked. The drumming. Holy smokes, that drummer. Wow. Really nice job establishing the groove. And I gotta throw the bass player in there as well. The bass player and the drummer are really doing a nice job of establishing the groove, but really the bass player was definitely more on the simplistic side of what he was doing comparatively to the drummer, who was coming up with some really nice fills, like really good fill work. So I definitely gotta give credit where credit's due to the drummer. So big shout out to the drummer and to the bass player for locking in and helping to establish the groove as well. But really, let's be honest here, the drummer was kind of the star there. Keyboards did a nice job filling out the sound. Had no problem with anything the keyboard player was doing. Did a fine job. I want to give a big shout out to that. I guess you could call them the auxiliary section. The two guys over on stage right with all the percussion instruments and the soprano sax as well. Really did a nice job on the soprano sax, giving some nice feel to it. A nice, I would dare say, like a Middle Eastern feel to it, or even slightly maybe around the Egyptian side as well. Felt really nice. Now I know a lot of that had to do with the effects that the soprano sax was using, because that wasn't just a basic soprano sax sound. Sometimes it was, but sometimes they were using sound banks to create different sounds. At that point, I got to kind of wonder, why don't we just use an EWI? I mean, I think that would be more effective. But what they did was just fine. I mean, it sounded good. I got no issue with it. The guitar playing, very nice. Very nicely done. The solo that he came up with was really well done. It was a little long, if I'm being honest. It was a little elongated. It could have been a little bit shorter, but in the overall scope of things, it really wasn't that big of a deal. But it is a factor, without question. It's something that I did take into account. To be honest with you, there was only one thing that I really disliked. That was the vocals. Too many effects. Way too many effects. Really making the vocals sound unnatural, I guess is the best way to put it. Now, I'm sure that was the objective. I'm sure that was the whole purpose of utilizing those vocals, was to intentionally make the vocals sound unnatural. I'm sure that was the point, but it was not pleasing to the ear, at least not to my ear. I think I would have preferred to hear him just, au natural, just no effects, just let's hear what he can do, instead of relying on effects to create a otherworldly voice. Let's just put it that way. Not the biggest fan of that. And to be honest with you, the effects were a little annoying. So wasn't the biggest fan of the vocal effects at all. But everything else sounded really good, or not really good, but well, like I said, there were some things that were really good. The drumming, the guitar solo, they were really good. Everything else was kind of pretty good across the board. What really kind of surprised me about this, comparatively to other songs I've done from the Mars Volta, the groove which was established by the drummer and the bass player made the song very easy to listen to, and everybody kind of fell in step with it, which led to something pretty surprising happening. The song was 8 minutes and 10 seconds. You cut out the first 8 seconds for the logos and stuff. I didn't take that into account at all, obviously, but still 8 minutes and 10 seconds. It didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that time flew by and go, oh, this felt like it was only 6. No, I wouldn't go that far, but it didn't feel like 8. It felt like about, I would say about 7. 6, somewhere between 6.5 and 7. The time didn't fly by, but it definitely was, it felt a lot faster than it actually was. I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. And that really, more than anything, came down to the drumming and the guitar solo. Those two things in particular. So, really nice job on both of their parts. Really nice job. For the drummer, I might even go so far as to say great. I might. He did a fine job across the board. So, yeah, man. I feel pretty good about that score of a pretty good scale for what I feel was a pretty good song. Definitely, I will say this. I'm going to end with this. Out of the 5 reactions I've done to the Mars Volta, I think this was the most fun I've had with them. Most of this stuff, it's been all right, but not like this. This has definitely been, I think, the strongest song out of the Mars Volta's repertoire that I personally have heard so far. So, let's wrap this all up in a nice shiny bow, shall we? 6.3, pretty good grading scale, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B- letter grade. There you go, take your pick, I don't care, whichever one floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.